the two things that have changed my life the most have been questions and stories. In fact, I pulled up this like little thing that I found. Jesus is recorded as asking 307 questions in the Gospels. He directly answers only 3 of the 183 questions that he is asked. So just 3 out of 183 questions that was asked to him did he actually answer. So, not to mention when it comes to stories, Jesus teaches over 50 parables or short stories throughout the Gospels. And he often started the stories as the kingdom of heaven is like this. And so I think if you really want to change someone's life, then you have to ask more questions and give more stories instead of trying to give a direct answer. I think it's just like a natural human instinct to want to give a answer or a solution to someone, but we just look at the example of Jesus and we see Jesus asking questions, and some of those questions are obvious answers that he even goes on to explain. Some questions don't have an obvious answer, and they're meant to have you think. There's some stories he gives where it's really clear in some ways, and you can like discern more truth from going deeper into the story, what the story means. But there's some stories where you're kind of like, what does that even mean? But if you really sit and ponder on it, then you can learn more from it. It can change you. It's why we love books. It's why we love movies. We love stories as humans. Like, it's just part of us. I really love to share things that have changed my life. That's why this channel exists. I love to share stories, dreams, experiences, concepts, ideas, whatever. And I realized that I found it super difficult to try to convey a really deep meaning, like something that was really like impactful in my life to other people. I'm sure like you guys experience this as well, where you're really just trying to like share something that is just so rooted in you and has changed your life, and yet the words just don't come out. Like you try to come up with a sentence or a statement or a way, and it just doesn't stick with the person. The light bulbs don't turn on when you tell them, and you know how much it changed your life. So it's almost frustrating of like, I wish I could just like give you these thoughts and have you experience this thing that I experienced, so that way you could fully understand it. So when I tried to give an answer, a lot of times I realized that people weren't getting it. And so I started asking them questions, and I started giving them stories instead of giving them answers. For instance, I'll give you a quick example. My friend Megan asked me the question, how do you live out the beginning of James? James says, consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And so if someone asks you like, hey, how do I go through something? Like, how do I get through this? And you just give them the verse like, oh yeah, consider it joy, because it's going to make your faith stronger. Like, yeah, that's a statement. It's an answer, and it's something that may help them, may not. But what I found that helped me more, and what really got that verse to go deep for me, was a story that I just like, it just popped in my head, and it was beautiful. So when she asked me this question, I responded with this story. And the story is, you gotta imagine like you're in the gym and you're lifting weights, right? You guys have been to the gym. When you're lifting weights, how do you get stronger? Why are you even in the gym? You're getting stronger by putting heavy weight, by forcing your body to go through something difficult, so that way it gets adjusted and it gets accustomed to dealing with something heavier. And so you know that you're not going to be able to get stronger in the gym without lifting heavy weights. You're going to have to put your muscles to the test. You're going to have to have the fibers or whatever like break down, so that way they come back stronger. And so I see like James 1, consider it pure joy when you go through many trials. You know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Like, it's like going to the gym. Like, you're not like lifting weights at the gym, like benching, going, oh, this is so heavy, this sucks, I can't believe I'm having to do this, oh my gosh. You're going, I'm getting stronger, I'm forcing myself to go through this, so that way I get stronger, and you get that weight off of you. And that's kind of how it is with trials. Of you can succumb to the weight and go like, oh, this is so bad, and my car got stolen, and I don't know what I'm gonna do, and oh my gosh, this is so terrible. Why would God even? And you're totally missing it. Like, it's more like God is your spotter. Like, he's right there, like, and this weight has been allowed to be on you, and God allowed this weight to be on you. And if the weight is on you, then it's not more than you can handle. Like, he does not give you more than you're able to handle. There's always a way to come out on the other side of it, a conqueror. And so, seeing every trial in my life as just another weight on the bench, and God's not going to give me more than I can handle. He's the spotter that's right there. And so I'm always like giving my absolute best, and I'm relying on him to pull off the weight that I'm not able to handle. So when you're facing a trial, remember that. Like, keep that visual in your head of, I'm on the bench, God's my spotter, and he's put this weight on the bar. It's probably more than I think that I can handle, but he put this weight on the bar knowing that I'm going to be able to handle it, and he's right here taking the weight off of me, like, to help me grow stronger. He's not going to go, okay, I'm just going to take all the weight off of the bench so that way you don't have to go through anything. No, he's actually like wanting you to be stronger. That story right there, like, changed my life. And so just sharing that story was much more impactful than going, oh, if you're going through trials, just, it's something that is, you can consider to be joyful because it's going to produce perseverance through the testing of your faith. Like, that doesn't stick as much as like, let me tell you this story. And that story really conveys something that just like a simple sentence or simple statement doesn't. My other friend, we were sitting in a cafe in Starbucks, and very similar like concept, like situation of, how do I face these things that I'm going through? Why doesn't God just take them away? And I told him the story. It's kind of like similar to the Oedipal mother complex of, you know that if a mom wanted their son, her baby boy, to be strong, that she wouldn't remove all dangers from him. She wouldn't move 50 miles away and wrap him in bubble wrap and make sure nothing bad happens to him, never let him go outside. Like, that, would obviously be a bad mother. Like, that's not the way to make your kid strong or do the best thing for your kid. That'd be horrible for your kid. What does the mother do? The mother allows the kid to go out and experience these things, nothing more than she thinks that the kid can handle. And it can be hard for a mom, but the Oedipal mother is the mother that removes everything, is ultra controlling, and doesn't allow the son to actually like go out and experience the world because she's scared that it's going to hurt them. So move 50 miles away, wrap them in styrofoam, bubble wrap, so they don't experience anything bad. God's not like that. God's not trying to pull you 50 miles away from everything and make sure nothing happens in your life that could possibly harm you or could be dangerous. Like, God's not like, he's not the Oedipal mother. And so don't expect that from God. Don't look for that. It's not something that you want, and you may not know that because you're a kid and you're young, but you realize that as you get older, and you realize that especially as a parent for your kids. So you push your kids out into the world to do things that they don't necessarily want to do, knowing it's going to make them stronger. So just, there's that story too. And so, I hope that you can take those stories and that they're useful for you when it comes to how to face trials. But the main point I wanted to get across here is that stories are super, super powerful. Asking questions are super, super powerful. So I think doing more of it, at least in my life, I personally haven't experienced a bunch of mentors and leaders that have challenged me by asking me questions or giving me stories. I think a lot of times they try to give an answer, and it works sometimes, but I think other times, most times, that a story is more impactful, a question's more impactful. So I think if we would be more like Jesus, that would mean that we would ask more questions and not answer as many questions as people. Even if somebody asks you a question, Jesus was asked, 183 questions, and he only answered 3, like, directly. Many questions he answered with another question and didn't truly answer the question. So, just want to share that with you guys. So, I don't know. I found it super impactful in my life personally, and also being able to impact the lives of my friends and the people that I know by focusing on sharing stories and asking questions. So, cool. All right. I love you guys. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm tired. If you can't tell, you can definitely tell. So, all right. Talk to you soon.